Show starts now. Yo, welcome to the Ryback Show. I'm the big guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Scrambling over here. I hit the wrong button on TikTok and it was recording and it didn't go live. So I'm literally trying to turn on the microphone and get that live going. I got it just in time on that. I was a second or two off over on the podcast and the Ryback TV and Twitch and Ryback stream. Thank you guys all for joining very much. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. Thank you to Instagram and TikTok, the big guy Ryback20 for joining me on the live streams. Please swing over to Ryback TV and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Doesn't mean you're going to get them, but turn them on. And yeah, we every few days, 3 to 5 days, maybe, we're going to be here with the Ryback Show live answering your questions on health, fitness, supplementation, mindset, pro wrestling, and anything and everything, and do my best to try to answer your questions. Super chats are always brought up on the screen. For those of you watching and listening, and on the YouTube side of things on Ryback TV, if anybody ever wants to help out the show and put the times of specific topics, it will greatly help me grab those, and I can get clips made really quickly. And those clips help. I get those up on social media and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, and as well as on the YouTube as well, where people that don't have time to listen to the whole show can listen to topics that maybe they want to hear on the show. So that will be greatly appreciated. If anybody ever on the topic side can just do the time cues for everything, that would be greatly appreciated by yours truly. We are on every podcast platform as well as Amazon and Amazon Prime now, guys. Your iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. We're streaming on YouTube, Ryback TV, Ryback Rules on Twitch, and Ryback on Twitter. This podcast is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no harmful artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly for men and women on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% with discount code RYBACKSHOW20. That's RYBACKSHOW20 at the end of the checkout process over on feedmemore.com. All right, guys. Good to see everyone. Great day over here, up early. Got a bunch of work done in the morning. Some hot tub. Always nice when I get the hot tub in. And already got a big workout ahead. Big conditioning. No, actually, today's not a big conditioning session. I take that back. Today is a big workout. Shoulders, traps, abs, and a little bit of sauna today. And it's a carb day as well. So carbon up, always a little extra happy on the carb day compared to the low carb days. I've got my coffee here, doing a regular coffee. And as I'll go straight from here to getting the workout. Actually, afternoon lunch, nice little carb lunch, and then a big workout. Hello, Sri Lanka. Happy birthday, everybody. To the people that it's your birthdays, except for you, Jake. I'm not saying happy birthday to you because you have spammed my chat. That is the number one offense in Rybackville outside of hateful negativity that's just not warranted. And you've been shell-shocked down a pit of spikes, and I made sure that you have heard this before I blocked you, Jake. And I just want to make it clear, Jake, I do not wish you a happy birthday, and I think you are a horrible human for spamming the chat. Shell-shocked out of here. Jake is out of here. God, leaves 100 comments to wish him a happy birthday, and he ends up not getting wished a happy birthday. But I acknowledged him, so he's probably guzzling his Mountain Dew, freaking out right now, texting. Well, he doesn't have any friends probably, but you know the deal. I swear, how do we attract some of these people? God, can't we all just get along here? If the guy would have put it once, and I scroll through, there's a good chance I would have said, hey, Jake, my man. I can't say it because I don't want to, even though he's banned, he probably has 10 other accounts. But instead, I don't wish him a happy birthday now. You know, I don't want to not wish him a happy birthday, but he asked for it. I'm not the bad guy here. Super chat, Smash Ultra, a show, Ryback Show regular. Who is the strongest giant, Andre Big Show. That other guy don't even count. Goldberg, Wardlow, Strowman, Undertaker, Keith Lee, Samoa Joe, or Ryback. Well, a lot of these guys you have listed are not giants. Andre and Big Show are the only two giants that I would say that are legitimate giants, like legitimate giants. Whole different class of person on that. And I'll just say this: who has performed out of all those names? Who's performed the most impressive feats of strength in the ring? I think also you could be weight room strong, and I've seen this with guys that are weight room strong and absolutely suck in the ring as far as their strength and balance. So I don't know who the answer is on that. I don't like it, and it's like we live in a world like if I were to say myself, people like, oh, you're so egotistical. And I was like, why can't I say myself? If I firmly believe, I really believe it's me. And I go look at the stuff I've done in the ring over and over compared to the others. That doesn't mean other people haven't done impressive things, but like I'm confident as hell. Like I've worked so damn hard, but I'm not a giant, so I can't like the majority of these names don't count. It's either Andre or Big Show, and I've never met Andre, but I would tell you I think Big Show was a lot stronger than Andre. I think Big Show is a lot more mobile and athletic than Andre. I think Big Show, and this is I don't know Andre, I've just seen footage, but I think Big Show is the greatest giant of all time, hands down. I think he is a tremendous physical actor, and he embraced every role, even if it was a role he should not have played. And I think he's by far the greatest giant in the history. And I'm going to say, dare say, for I don't see anybody doing what Big Show has done from the beginning of their career to end, and being in longevity at that size in multiple promotions. He's worked for all the big promotions pretty much. I'm very fond of Big Show. I like Big Show a lot. So Big Show's the winner of that. Hello, hello. Yeah, that guy you mentioned fell over trying to catch Sin Cara. He's absolutely one of the worst. Liddell, thank you very much for the kind words, saying you watched the WWE clips. Let's see. As a fellow Jake, I just don't condone that. Hey, Jake. Well, Jake, I will wish you a happy birthday when it is your birthday, Jake. Just that other Jake was he came off on the wrong foot opening the show, and I just see the chat getting spammed out of the corner of my eye as I'm trying to do my show open, and just the rage just filling my body of just this person, and he's like he leaves 100 comments because he wants to be wished a happy birthday. Like, come on. All right, I'm going through the questions. Also, for the Ryback Show listeners, when we do happen to get a spammer, the best thing that you could do is to stay calm, stay relaxed at home. What I ask that you don't do is to jump the gun and start typing in the chat, stop spamming. Because what that does is that creates an even more chaotic situation where I'm trying to get the guy blocked, and then there's more comments coming in. So Ryback Show listeners, if you're out there and you're watching this, and we do get a spammer inside the chat, they occasionally sneak in, they get into Rybackville. Let me take care of the situation. Let me hit him with a meat hook and stun him, and then shell shock him down the pit of spikes, and we're golden, guys. I've got firm control over this show. We've been doing this for years. The show's been over 6 years now, so we things are around 6 years. We are well in control over here. I swear by the entire Feed Me More Nutrition line. It just determined it determines what your goals are and what you're looking for. And it's we have 13 different supplements with that. Like it is, and there's not one thing that I would not come out with if I did not believe in. I have my cupboards are full of this stuff. Like it is this is my passion. Like, since I was a kid, I have been obsessed with supplements and just in working out and bettering myself, and it's something I truly, truly, truly love. So, it just depends. If you're trying to get bigger and stronger, the ISO Hungry protein powder, I think the Big Guy natural testosterone booster male performance enhancer formula and 10 count creatine is a hell of a stack. I think that can get you to your goals. If you're somebody, you want more energy and focus, I'm going to say check out our Wake Up Unlimited Energy and our Brain Feed, high powered brain support. That stack very well together, right? And it's like it's very simple. You're like, hey, I'm a little bit down. I want more energy. I'm a little down. I have anxiety. I'm going to say check out the Wake Up Unlimited Energy and the Hope Spot mood and stress support. Like, there's so many different things and combinations on there of products that you could use, just to determine. Just all is determined by what you are looking for, and there's no right or wrong answer. Thank you, Dave. I'm trying to do more Ryback shows, doing these in the morning, and scheduling my day a little tighter, and in filling in a little bit of dead space. And because my shoulder rehab work takes a lot, and I find that sometimes if I wait to do the show later in the day, it can be a little stressful. Whereas, because I tend to like to do a lot of my shoulder stuff a little prior to my workout and a lot after, and it's where, like, this stuff could take hours. Like, I mean, it is like I'm so excited where I'm at physically. Like, I can do regular pull-ups again. Like yesterday, it was my back day, and I got multiple sets of 3 pull-ups after, and I use a band to get going, to get everything. You got to remember, that whole right side was so destroyed. I couldn't even do assisted pull-ups. I had to do lat pull-downs that hurt. And like, it was for years. I am now able to do full pull-ups at 285, 86, 87, 88 pounds. And it's just that, until I'm getting that lat and those connecting muscles are getting stronger every single week. And like, I'm going to be up to doing a lot of pull-ups again here in a very short period of time, because like, I can actually do them now and not be in menacing pain. And I could feel those muscles and everything working again that were just dormant for years because of the way everything was. So it's like, I try to balance, and I was explaining this to my friend yesterday, like, of like everything that I'm doing. And I just said, it's like morning to night, get up early and go from one thing to the next. And I got to have my moments just to kind of recharge in between. But I was like, and like, I sometimes, like, I try not to talk to people, because I'm like, I just go from one thing to the next. And I'm like, I'm such a big believer in controlling my mood. And like, I deal with a lot of different people all throughout the day, and like, everyone has problems. And like, other people tell me their problems, and I'm just like, I've got all this own stuff going on. Like, so I just kind of just stay in my little bubble and get all my work done every day, because I know it's just consistent, repeated efforts of what I'm doing. And I'm just like, I'm like so damn close. So I appreciate you guys tuning into these shows, even doing them a little earlier. We've got another super chat, Smash Ultra, with the double for the day. I went to the gym today. I do push-ups, pull-ups, leg ups, and drank chocolate proteins, the whole bottle. Really love chocolate. Good deal, my man. It's good just to get into the gym. And I'm a big believer in consuming protein, a little bit of carbs. It depends on your carb intake for the day, but that there's typically a 60-minute window post workout where you want to. I'm a big believer in either getting a meal that's quickly digested or a protein shake in right after your workout, that anabolic window. And it is that post workout meal is a very important meal. Yeah, Bill, a lot of people are big into the CBD. I'm not. I've tried multiple ones, and like I've said, I'm not. Just, I think it works for a lot of people. I've not found anything with CBD. I actually had horrible anxiety taking one CBD supplement that was higher dosed, and like, I don't have anxiety normally. Like, I'm not, and I just go, this sucks. Like, I'm not. I don't know what it is, if it's too closely, just because like THC does the same thing to me. So I just think I'm just one of those people. I'm a red wine guy. Red wine makes me just happy, happy, and just that's my relaxed and carefree, and that's my go-to for to once a week, just to kind of for a treat to live a little and just lighten up. Peter O, yeah, we see your comments, Peter O. Swapnil, thank you very much. Was the Jazz-esque, was the bench press with you and that other guy in WWE real? No. It was real. It wasn't the weight as advertised, but it was 100 and something pounds. I actually wanted to use real weights for that, and they, which I don't think in doing it, it was not a good idea to use real weights, because that was before I knew what we were doing towards the end of it, and like with that would not have been a good idea with that amount of weight. And I don't know if it was like 100 and like 25 or 145 or 135 pounds, but the weights were real metal weights. They were just the fake weights that said, and that's why I know like people online do fake videos, because a lot of these I didn't even know these things existed, where they literally look, they're not rubber, they're real metal plates, but like the 45s are like 25s, but they look like 45s. And it's very, very deceiving. It was the first time in my life I saw fake weights that were just underweight, that weren't like gimmick rubber, like where they weren't fake. They were real. It just wasn't the real. It wasn't 225. Wasn't the 45s were 25 or 20 or something. And we had to go through like a rehearsal in the back just to make sure, because the other guy was really beat up, and so we had to make sure that the weights could be lifted by both of us at that time. Bill saying the shoulder hangs are really beneficial, even if you just hang from your fingertips in a door jam. Bill, I swear by I do 5 days a week. I do my shoulder hangs. I give myself 2 days off on my fasting day and on Sunday. I don't do shoulder hangs. My shoulder is so much better. I'm lifting more weight than I have lifted in years, and my shoulder's not grinding, because that joint is opening up more and more. And I tell you, it was a blessing coming. This thing popped up on my TikTok from some guy I've never seen before talking about shoulder hangs. And I don't watch any videos on on this stuff, like, where I go, why did that guy? I'm mostly just hot chicks in comedy. And I go, where did this come from? That, like, as far as like popping up on my For Your page deal. Right. And I watch it and I go, I got to get this book. And sure enough, this is like, it was the missing link on everything I've been doing. And it's helping me break up more and more scar tissue. And like I said, I'm doing full pull-ups now. Like, I couldn't even, if I would have tried to pull up, the muscles were not working. That right side, and it hurt so bad because things were in the way of each other. I can now do full regular pull-ups, and I just got to get that lat muscle, that scapula area and those connectors stronger. And the only way to do that is to keep doing it. And I'm just going. I'm like, this is such a cool, like, I can't wait. And it's going to be so hard. And in my book, Broken Bones and Happy Endings, which that will come out once this has all been overcome, like, and once all the suppression is over, and I know that I could put out another book and actually promote it properly, that I'll be able to explain everything in great detail of how this has all come together. But it's like, it's so difficult to just in words, like, from the years of like just trying to get my back better and doing all these shoulder rehab exercises and talking to like experts and like telling them like, this stuff isn't working, it hurts me. And because they didn't realize what we were dealing with, and because there's a lot of people online and they can't actually see you. And I didn't realize that my entire shoulder just had scar tissue I told you, in every area and aspect of it, that until that scar tissue was broken up, the rehab was pointless. And I had to figure that out on my own. And now it's putting that stuff back in once the shoulder, and it's like, and then it works. And but yeah, what a frustrating process, but also very rewarding. It's so that will be able to be detailed in my book as I can like just sit and just think of the various stages of this and how it's all come together. So, but the shoulder hangs, get those hooks, my man. Buy those shoulder the like deadlift hooks. And we're gonna order some for Feed Me More Nutrition as well with the Hungry logo on them. The those things make hanging so much easier on a pull-up bar. But yeah, you can get the pull-up bars for your door frame, or I wouldn't dare hang on a door the without a pull-up bar. I wouldn't hang on the ones in the door. I'd be afraid I'd tear the whole damn door bridge down with that. But I don't even know how strong those things are. I just know a lot of chicks use them. I'm like, yeah, but they're not 300 pounds either, 285 pounds. So but like a lot of parks have pull-up bars and like gyms obviously, and you can find one at pretty much they have public ones outside everywhere. So it's like just even if it's just a few times a week and you go and you try to go hang for 15-20 minutes in intervals, it opens up that joint. It is I couldn't even hang before. It hurt so bad. And that's what people tell me, oh, do these shoulder hangs, but nobody ever like gave the reason why. And so I just go, it hurts. Like it's not, and it not like the good kind of hurt. Like it hurts, and my shoulder coming down is just this ache that like just lasts all day. And I finally, once I understood it, and I was like, I got to get through that phase. And there was a lot of scar tissue was causing that as well. Which once I got to that point, and like now the hangs work, and it also got through that sticking point with them, and now I love it. It's so comfortable. Yeah, you guys were saying I did hear about Ray Liotta yesterday, and I had to look. I remember on the show yesterday. I go, I don't know who that is. Once I went and looked, and I go, oh, okay, I recognize him in that name now. So I didn't watch the reason why I don't know who that didn't know who that was off the top of my head. The majority of movies he's done, I've never seen. I have seen when I was younger, Field of Dreams, which I believe I saw he was in, but I had no idea that that was. I just knew Kevin Costner from that, and then I believe he was in. I've seen Sin City, but I don't know who he was in that. I just go, okay, I've seen that. There were only 2 or 3 movies of because I went and looked at all the movies he'd done. Like I've never seen Goodfellas. I've just never seen a lot of the movies that he did with that. So, but like I said yesterday, it's always unfortunate, and he was only 67 years old, so he wasn't that old, right? Not that old at all. And it's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess a lot of people saying I got to watch Goodfellas. Maybe, yeah, maybe one of these days I will. I've just never have. I was younger, when that came out, and it's just a movie I've never watched. I don't think I've ever seen any of the Godfather movies. I don't know there's just certain things I don't care to like. I like comedy movies. I like, action drama. I like things like Terminator, the Terminator series. I talk about that's like the movie I reference all the time. The Total Recall, Arnold movies. I like the blood sport movies. I'm an 80s and 90s guy of those films. Walter, good to see you. Double W. Have I tried mixing fruit with the ISO Hungry protein? I'm ordering soon and was curious if you have. If I do, the only thing I do with that is bananas, and I like them. Bananas and peanut butter with it are money with that caramel cookie. And but I've not done other fruits with it, and I don't know if I would. I don't feel like other fruits, but you could, and you might like them. I think bananas. I don't know what other fruits would really go outside of that, and raw cacao powder I mix with it too, which is chocolate. But yeah, bananas and peanut butter are the extent of it. Unlawful entry. Yeah, I missed so many of those movies. That's why I didn't know who he was. Yeah, we're gonna shell shock you out of here, weirdo. Good to see everybody joining in. Yeah, I did see uh Money in the Bank. I heard we got another super chat here. Money in the Bank was supposed to be at Allegiant Stadium here in Vegas on July 2nd, and they are now going to be running at the MGM, which holds 17,000 people, which I believe their ticket sales, from what I saw, were around just under that. And there's no way they were going to fill up Allegiant. And what I saw, and I didn't know this because I think they're running the pay-per-view on a Saturday, and I don't know why they switched from running Sunday pay-per-views because I know AEW does the Saturday and UFC runs Saturday. And I don't know if I don't know what the reason for that is with UFC having they have a big card on that day here in Vegas as well. And I think they're running at T-Mobile, which is down the road from all that. And I just go, why would you run on the same day? And they've known that that's the date when you always ran Sunday and you have no competition on Sunday. I just don't get it. I don't get it on why they would do that, unless it's to give the guys an extra day off going before Raw. But they never cared about that before. And I don't like, and it's especially like even if you do run Saturdays for that particular one, maybe you just do Sunday so you don't run into that problem. And I don't know what the reasoning for that is. WWE was always a Sunday pay-per-view thing. And I know Saturdays are a great night, but like why you get so many people watch the UFC fights? Why put yourself up against them? Whereas you can have your own day for yourself. I'll never understand it. But yeah, so they're going to run MGM, which actually is a good arena for Money in the Bank because MGM. I don't know if they're all the seats used to be green, and the MGM is green. So with Money in the Bank, I feel like it fits the theme much better running at the MGM. But it is a smaller arena, and I say smaller, holding 17,000, still huge. But I love that arena. I used to go to all the WCW Halloween Havocs there, and so I had very fond memories. WWE always used to run Thomas and Mack Center here in Vegas. WCW always ran the MGM, which now though, like AEW's here, they're using the Mandalay Bay. I think it's the Michelob Ultra Arena, which is we ran Raw there once, which is a nice arena, but that's a smaller arena as well compared to some of the bigger ones. And then they got T-Mobile, and then they've got the Allegiant Stadium. And by the way, we were just told the NBA is there's 2 new expansion teams coming in 2024, and Vegas is supposedly going to be one of the locations. And they want to build a multi-billion-dollar sports complex down on South Las Vegas Boulevard by Blue Diamond. And so they want to build yet another arena. And I'm like, how many arenas? We have too many arenas here with this. And it's like, I go, it's people with money. I go, but like, man, with the water issue going on here, I go, do we really need to keep, we are just like, I don't know. I don't know. Like they said there's a Major League Soccer team possibly coming here. I know there's been talk off and on of the Oakland A's coming here and building them a baseball stadium off on the strip. And I'm just like, this is turned all chaotic. But I go, you know what though? In as much as I love Vegas, I go, let it happen. Let your house value keep going up because it's going to keep going up. This house is next year, it's going over close to 1.1 million. Let it just keep going up. And then just cash out when you think the time is right and move somewhere else in the middle of nowhere. And I could always come back and visit here and whatnot. And, or maybe Airbnb this place out and get the hell out of here. And because then rent would be through the roof or rent it out and charge an arm and a leg for rent and go somewhere where there's a lot of fresh drinking water. Super chat. Smash Ultra again. The triple whammy. How would you feel if you're a cyborg? You can crush a skyscraper with your head and you still be conscious. Smash Ultra. I thought you had a couple decent super chats before. This one's a little weird. How would you feel if you were a cyborg and you could crush a skyscraper with your head? I don't know if I was a cyborg that I would want to sacrifice my head trying to crush a skyscraper, nor would I know how that would be possible as a cyborg crushing something as large as a skyscraper with my head. I would have to use my cyborg body, I would think, if I was going to attempt to crush a skyscraper. Not going to lie, Smash Ultra, one of the weirder super chats that I've had on the channel, but I still love you. I feel like of all the things you guys could ask me, sometimes these questions, it does make me scratch my head sometimes a little bit. And I love you guys, but I'm like, I can't imagine. I don't know how old you are, Smash Ultra. I can't look back at any age and think of me talking to like a pro wrestler that I grew up watching or had watched on TV for years and say, I'm going to ask this guy this question. And that's the question. It is a little, like I said, it makes me kind of scratch my head. But I don't discourage the questions, nor the super chats. I do wonder. Tyler Durden, this is a good question, honest question. Why do people think you're an unsafe worker and use steroids? Well, the whole steroid thing was never a thing until CM Punk lied. And that was just him being insecure and jealous. And he always has been to people that are in shape. He always has been. He does not have good genetics. And that is just a fact on that. And I've been so honest. I am on TRT and HRT and have been since 28 years old with normal levels. I don't abuse. I'm literally just a normal person and I work out like a maniac and I have very good genetics and I respond very well to heavy weight training, but like I'm also extremely strong. So I can lift I am very, very strong. And I don't think people understand this. So that is how I'm able to build more muscle, in which I have my workout program and explain this. But if you ever look, I do not have like that crazy vascularity. And look, that comes from drug use with that. And you can just tell the difference. You'll never see anything with me with acne and bad skin and all the, like, you can just tell and look at guys and go, that guy's taking a lot of stuff, right? With that. So that's where that came from, as well as the injury stuff never was a thing until he again lied on that. And it's one of those things that people grasp onto. But WWE, when I walked out, that was one of the things when they started putting out paid articles on lies to try to just damage my brand and reputation. That's one of the things in which we still have stuff going on. They just started posting lies. And I will tell you this. So the steroid thing now is out of the way. If I was so dangerous and such a threat to others, how come my entire tenure in WWE was working with all pretty much top people? Why was I never, even when I was used in different roles, I still was always being used against top people from the beginning to the end? Do you think if I was remotely dangerous, they would continue to do that? Don't you think while I was there would have been stuff being pushed out on how I'm hurting all these people, and not the stuff we did that was revolved, which again, this is part of it. They used me multiple times to get guys off of TV and injury angles that were already injured. So you have the that don't understand that go, oh, Ryback hurt Punk's knee. No, I had nothing to do with that. That was just to write him off TV because he was already hurt. Oh, Ryback injured Kofi's elbow. No, he had bone chips that he needed to get removed. We used me in an angle to get him off TV. Part of it with that plays a part as well with that, right? Because I remember getting a lot of hateful things during that. I'm just like, Jesus, these people are just too much with some of this, right? But you would have seen me taken, like you've seen other guys and like that were up there on TV get taken off TV and get set back to developmental, right? If that was remotely true, they would have not hesitated one bit to do that. It's such a non-issue and so far from the truth, which is why I'm just like, it just makes me laugh. but it's done. That's one of the worst things that you can come out and say about another person to get people on the internet to hate you. And I laugh it because I know it's not true. And I just give you facts. I go, why with all the top guys from beginning to end? Why have other top guys put me over? No, I think he's good. I enjoyed working with him. So that's what you just gotta, and it's the one person, and that's all that it was. What weird. Where do we get some of you guys from? I loved fighting against the Big Show. Ryborg. Yeah, I've actually joked that that was another wrestling name. I used to make jokes when I was Ryback, and we were in Florida Championship Wrestling and then WWE. What's Ryborg doing in the Impact Zone? That's my Impact name is Ryborg. Which isn't a bad name at all, actually. I do always wear headphones when I work out. Yes. Go ahead and get looking at the questions. Good to see you, Jose Lopez, another regular of the Ryback Show. All the love and support on TikTok. Thank you. What are my opinions on Braun Strowman? I love Braun. Braun's a great guy. We were messaging each other a while back. We follow each other on social, and I like Braun. I'm very happy that he had success after I left WWE, and he's with what they're doing with Control Your Narrative. I love them, man. They're him, EC3. I came up with EC3 in developmental, and I'm just, these are guys that you could be away from, and the minute you see them again, it's like as if no time had passed. And I always I have fond memories of those guys. Now I'm very happy for everything they're doing. My thoughts are not on anything with wrestling until, like I said, it's the legal stuff and get my shoulder, and then I will my focus will then, okay, what can I do? What do I want to do? Like as far as what are my goals with that, and then I'll make some decisions and see what can be done. I look at things though, just so you guys understand, and like with what I'm doing and growing my business, and like I said, like I love pro wrestling, but like I think that there's just too much pro wrestling, and I don't like the way that a lot of the contracts work. I think what the best, and like you got to do what's in your best interest, but also what could be good for a promotion as well. You know, and I'm very big. I'm a physical actor, and I treat wrestling as physical acting. You know, I actually saw the, what's his name, the Will, is it Will Ospreay, made a comment that, and it's not, and I understand what he's saying, and I'm trying to get it right. It was that he's a pro wrestler, and that WWE wrestlers, and this isn't verbatim, but it's like in the gist of it, he's a pro wrestler, and the WWE wrestlers are actors, and they're not pro wrestlers, um, essentially. And I would simply argue, I go, that's impossible. He's a physical actor as well. It's just that there's guys that are physical actors that make indie films, and then there's physical actors that make cinematic masterpieces. But you can't, pro wrestling is physical acting. There's pro wrestling is not MMA. Pro wrestling is not a real fight. It is a simulation of a real fight. This is a fact. And if you think it's anything other, you've got something wrong with you, right? But there's not to say that there's not the art of the pro wrestling aspect that exists in WWE. I would put WWE guys up against anybody with wrestling with that, right? They're just better at doing all this stuff for TV, which takes years of learning that majority of guys cannot do. Learning time cues, learning camera angles, learning how to add layers to your character. character and draw in casual people, right? But all pro wrestlers are physical actors. There's no arguing that because it is a simulation of a real fight. It's just that there are many elements of that WWE capitalizes on that make them more mainstream. With that you have to be skilled at, or you will not survive with that. And that is how I feel about that. And I know what he's saying though, and I don't think he's like wrong in the sense of like I know what he's getting at with that. But like he is a physical actor as well. All pro wrestlers are. Let me see here. Yeah, I was a fan of Hulk Hogan growing up. Did I like working with Goldberg? I don't know what era you're from, but I would like to know when I worked with Goldberg and what memory of me that you have that led you here. What was my experience like working with Goldberg? I don't even know where that question, what era of pro wrestling fan are you that you like? Jeez. Feed Me More supplements. Yes, you can get the Feed Me More supplements, Feed Me More nutrition supplements over on feedmemore.com and Amazon. Veer Mahan, yes. That is, we'll see what direction they're going to go with him. That can go any way. He could, if they continue to invest in him and he continues he has to keep going and building up and getting wins or they could use him like Lars Sullivan at some point. Well, Lars never got used badly, but disappeared. He had the other issues going on, but we've seen it time and time again. There's a multitude of ways that can go. Yes, I've been in the ring, and me and Batista fought the Royal Rumble briefly. I've done quite a bit of MMA training and stopped that after my stem cells with my shoulder. I was doing jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing. And boxing I was doing for years. I love boxing and just boxing training. I love all of it. But and that's something I do want to pick that up again as just in just my free time here and there. I live in such a peaceful life. Like I want to be able to go back to pro wrestling and do certain things. And what I was getting at with that to tell you guys is I look at like with pro wrestling, I look at it, I think it would be really cool to bounce from promotion to promotion and work angles and not be long-term committed to anybody. I think it'd be great. You go, hey, I think I could do some good business with Wardlow for 3-4 months. And I'd like to come do some good business and something, you know what I mean? And you're like, hey, Ricky Starks, I like Ricky a lot. And I think I could do some good business with Ricky long-term or on the short-term end of things. But it's not just like, hey, I want to have a match with that guy. I'm looking at this in like 3-4 month increments or in that time range, 2-3 months, where you can get some really good television in week to week and accomplish some good storytelling in that. And that's how I look at that. Hey, who's somebody I like, this guy over in that promotion. It's not just like, hey, I want to come in and do a match. That is not, it never will be my take on pro wrestling. I don't, not to say it can't be. And like, hey, it can be, but like, if you don't have a story with it, it doesn't really do any good. Like going and just having a match doesn't make you any bigger of a star. Like outside of that, like that small audience, like you got to tell some stories. You got to work the social media end of things. And I think I'm very good at that. And which is why my numbers are where they're at. And again, we're about to hit 2.9 million. We're right around, I'm going to be the first wrestler outside of The Rock to hit 3 million and the Great Khali on TikTok here. So we're doing some things right. I would prefer people bought from feedmemore.com, but I don't mind people buying from Amazon because my reseller that they buy from us wholesale on there. So at the end of the day, I still am making money on the sales because when they're out of stock, they got to buy more inventory and things of that nature, right? So it's fine. I just always, the website is always people are always going to buy on Amazon regardless, right? But like anything that I'm doing when I'm talking to you guys, I want to direct as many people to our website as possible. But I tell you, we run so many discounts, and I give you guys, and I have the different programs to save money on there, that the shipping, usually you'll save money buying on the website if you take advantage of our discounts. But I get it, man. I shop on Amazon all the time. If you got a Prime account, it's nobody can compete with Amazon and like I said on what they do with the free shipping. But like the majority of companies, I told you I was losing $600-700 a month for almost a year on shipping. And I finally I had to raise my shipping prices. And like I go, this is the world we live in. And we've seen it across the board with everything. But that's why I run those discounts though, and it offsets that greatly. I get along with a lot of people in wrestling. Yes. If you ever look, a lot of the biggest names in wrestling follow me and I follow them. So I don't know. It's, you know, Will says, how do you get your traps so big? I'm going to tell you to buy my Feed Me More maximum size and strength workout program over on feedmemore.com. But I am a big believer. I train my traps like any other body part. I train them as an individual muscle group. Like when people go, it's back day. Oh, it's trap day. Does that make sense? Like a lot of people over, like they, oh, I'll do a few sets for my traps here and there. No, traps a necessity. That is a necessity. If it is on my body, it is a necessity. It needs to be worked out. I do hand exercises, forearm exercises. A muscle on my body, it gets worked. That's just my it's just the way that it is. Grip is so important. If somebody tries to grab you, to be able to control them and manhandle them in the majority of situations, it is a very real thing. Jorge says, I've lost 40 pounds because of you, Ryback. Vegan for the win. Hell yeah, my man. That makes me very happy to hear that. Oh, hell yeah. That was my Cold Stone Steve Austin. Do I like ruffles? Outside of that, the only time I've had ruffles, by the way, since I was a kid, was for that chip eating video I did. And the only reason I did that ruffles, those were from Canada, that a nice fan sent me a bag of Canadian treats. So I think a lot of people, they're like, it's hilarious that the chip guy stuff took off from something that I so rarely ever do, which is maybe part of the appeal to it. I don't know. Ryback, your comeback would be cool if the lights went out and you appear in the ring out of nowhere. I mean, I guess I think it would be more cool to have my theme music hit, because I think I have pretty badass theme music. So I would like the theme music to be hit, or maybe when the lights come on, if it is, you just at least you hear "Feed me" really quickly, more, and there I am. I don't know. No, we're online. I think the goal is, I've talked about this. The goal eventually is to try to get distribution with a lot of that, and I would love to be in every store. And I think we should be, because I have better supplements than any of the other companies as far as in the ingredients that we're using, and they work. But it is, you're dealing, and I had an opportunity to do that very early on, and I didn't want to raise my prices because they wanted me to raise them a lot. And could it have been a mistake? Maybe, but it was something I didn't want to price gouge people. I legitimately, this is like a real thing. I've talked about it before. So, and we make money selling them online. So, but again, I think that opportunity is going to be there. I've laid the groundwork, and we are in a very, very good position. So it's like a lot of times people, this is very early on. It takes many years for a lot of businesses to do well and to be profitable, and to like really hit. And like, it just keeps like, we're going, man. Like we're going, it's going to be just fine. So it's But ideally, I would love to be. I want to be in the whole. I want to be in India. I want to be in England. I want to be in Canada. I want to be in Japan. Just you name it. I want to be there. I want to be in Australia. I want Feed Me More Nutrition to be everywhere, and it will be. It is this stuff doesn't happen like it's not like, hey, you start a business and like bam. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that you have to do and learn from, and you make mistakes. You correct them, and a lot of hustling, and you're right. So I don't like how everyone in social media is criticizing the way Sasha and Naomi handled Monday Night Raw and walked out of the show, and now people blaming Sasha. Naomi has a mind of her own and can make decisions for her career. Not everybody is doing that. That's just people that you are looking at and you are reacting to. And that's all that there is to it. There's a lot of people that are on their side. I've seen that. And I also look at it, I think you get too invested in something that you don't really know what's going on. And right. So you have your opinions on them and just keep your opinion on them. And you obviously like them, right? And don't pay any attention to what anybody else says. Just don't look at it or block it, and just keep living your life and try to live in the real world as much as possible. Don't get too distracted with what other people are doing anyways, because you don't even know all the facts on it yet. So that's going to be my best piece of advice to you. And it's not everybody. I can't stress that enough. I hear that everybody this, everybody. No, that is what you are choosing to look at and acknowledge. Thank you. Yes, there's a lot of love and support in India. I would love to go do. I know Great Khali. I haven't talked to him in a while, but when everything's better, I would not be against going down and doing a big, huge arena. Ryback and Great Khali. I would want to tag with the Great Khali, because you don't want to. I don't want to. I want to be me and Great Khali together in India are massive baby faces. So I'm gonna pitch the Great Khali for me and him to be in the main event of a massive tag match and sell out a huge arena in India. That I would do. That would be a lot of fun with that. But I don't want to go there and be the heel and wrestle Great Khali, because then I'm in another country and having to do heel things. Like, I want to come back in one piece, and I'd rather be everyone's friend in India. So the Great Khali and the big guy Ryback, I'd probably have to get beat up and let him get the hot tag. But we maybe do it like a double, get him in a little bit of trouble. You do a double heat spot. You do that's the kind of match where Great Khali gets in trouble early. Give me the hot tag, let me clean house, rock and roll for a little bit. Everything's on the up and up. I get caught out of nowhere from somebody. Big guy runs into the post. Oh, I'm a little woozy. Get heat on the big guy, and then give the real hot tag to the Great Khali. Couple chop, shell shock, chop. Let him get the final chop, and send the crowd home happy. Sell a bunch of T-shirts, and get my money taken at customs. I'd have to have him cash app it to me so that I don't have to come across the border with all that cash. Yeah, you don't want to go. I don't know. I don't believe. I think I'm pretty good at getting people riled up. So I think that they like, and I just know that I wouldn't want to go to another country and be a bad guy, because I take it seriously, and I think too many people take it personal, and it's just I want to come back in one piece, especially with the way the world is now. Leo says I'm 17 using pre-workout. A lot of people tell me I don't need it, yet it definitely increases my weight and reps when I use it. What should I do? It depends what pre-workout you're taking. I think there are a lot of very unhealthy pre-workouts with bad ingredients in it. You're at that age. I don't think there's anything wrong with using a pre-workout prior to training, as long as it's not doesn't have artificial sweeteners or colors and harmful stimulants in it. Um, I think you're at an age of performance, and it depends on what your goals are. And you're a young adult, pretty much, and it's just use them responsibly. Don't abuse anything. Monitor your caffeine consumption throughout the day. Don't go crazy, right? And I think that that's more than fine if you're using the right one. but if it's, you want to make sure you're not taking a bad one. Nick, I think you will really like our Wake Up Unlimited Energy pre-workout. So I do hope you try it. We've got pink lemonade, mango candy, and green candy apple. Or green apple, candy apple. I can't remember. I forgot. I think it's green apple. The you will enjoy them. Yes, I have many submission moves. It just depends on whether you're using them or not. The gorilla clutch is one of my ones. I use that on the independents a little bit. I did not work with The Rock. I've only met him I've met him on multiple occasions. Very nice. Was there ever a storyline that I thought when I was in WWE, oh come on, do I need to do that? I can't remember off the top of my head. Everything I just look at is physical acting on that. So it just depends on what you question what's the direction that we're going on certain things, which is a culmination of many different weeks and months of things and whatnot. But yes, I still talk to Phoenix regularly. Yes, I like William Regal. He was always really nice. I don't understand the whole father figure thing. I think, man, there's so many terms that people use that I just think I'm like, when I hear people say like Vince McMahon is a father figure, things, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, when? No, no, no. I think it's just like a go-to. It's such a BS thing in my opinion. No, 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 no. My father's my father, right? So I don't get that at all. Yeah, my Wake Up Unlimited Energy is my go-to first thing every morning. It is my go-to. Good to see all of you. Let me see if I missed a super chat. I don't see a super chat popping up, but they sometimes show up in here and don't, which I have a feeling. Let's see. I do not see a super chat anywhere, but nice try. Let's see. We got any other questions on TikTok or IG? IG's been pretty decent lately. Not great, but decent. Hello. Appreciate all the love and support over on TikTok. More comments. My goal, no, is right now we got to get everything finished legally with WWE with my Ryback trademark. That got delayed 5 months on their part, and we're going to finish it, and we're going to win it. My goal will be to wrestling, like we talked about that a little bit ago, with everything. Will, with a good question. Ryback, what do you think of influencers lying that they're natural? Yeah, I think that is something. It's unfortunate that it is. You see that online with a lot of people, and I think you've got people that are bigger names in like that fitness industry that do that, and it's just it ruins when people are gonna do what they're gonna do with that. Um, that's why I believe That's why I say I'm on TRT, HRT since 28 in the normal healthy ranges, like not abusing drugs. I'm against that culture. I'm against all of it with that. Um, you got people though that make like money, and I have my supplement line, and this is where I said this is why I do a lot of what I do and talk to you guys. Like I've been passionate about working out since I was a kid, about supplements since I was a kid. But if you look at me, I think a lot of people and would be easy to stereotype me into that category, right? Because there are so many people that do that. And that's why I go, I have to talk to people and I let them see my passion for this and my love for this and my mindset for this. And that it's like I am a do the work mindset. And it's an entirely different mindset oftentimes than what we see. And not to say there are other people that have that as well, but it is something that it's a lot easier just to do a bunch of drugs and say you're natural and BS people than it is to like actually have to learn how to eat really good and work out really hard and have good genetics, right? And I'll tell you another problem online that's going on is there's so many people that Photoshop their images. They're in good shape already. They Photoshop them though to make themselves look like this. Like I can't tell you how many people I've met in real life that you see on social media, and I'm not lying to you guys. They look nothing like their images. Nothing. Their proportions, nothing. And I just go, what is going on? And then I saw there was a lot of these fitness people use these apps to literally change their proportions, even if it's subtle on it. Like they'll make their waist a little smaller, they'll make their shoulders a little broader, they'll make the quads a little bigger, make their pecs a little bigger, they'll increase their vascularity. I go, they're increasing their vascularity, which is another. I go, this is and I could see it now, and I could spot it a million miles away now. Once I learned about it, I go, what a just gimmick all this is with that. So I'm like, people are going to meet you in real life, and you're not going to look like what like. I don't understand that. It's like the people that use the filters too. I'm like, I don't use filters on anything unless it's like a funny thing, but like never. I don't. So many like people use filters on all their stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'll tell you, I've met women that I didn't even know were using filters on everything. And the first thing I see them in person, I go, Jesus Christ. Like they don't look like, and it's not to be mean. I don't say that. It's just like they're lying. They're living a lie. I'm like, why would you want to do that? Like, does that make you feel better day to day? Like then, like, isn't it better to work on yourself and just be happy with who you are? And like, it's like we live in a world of like trickery and deceiving people. And I don't agree with it, man. So, but my deal is with that and the fitness people, man. I just try to, if I see them, I just block them. I don't pay any attention to them. I know who and what I am in my message and what I'm doing, and I try to focus on that. We're going to go ahead and issue a shell shock here. Dead man, thanks for playing, but you're out of here. I do 4 meals a day, 3 meals and 1 protein shake typically. The protein shake in a natural peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I do keep up with wrestling enough. Yes, I told you I watch more matches. I don't watch full shows, but I'll catch stuff and some stuff on social media. I'll watch a couple matches on TV usually of the shows when I can. Infinity, you did not pay for a super chat. You have no super chats on here. Literally scrolled back up. Yes, I have wrestled Alberto Del Rio. I like Alberto a lot. He was always a lot of fun to wrestle. We've wrestled quite a bit. I do like the show Cobra Kai as well. I'm looking forward to the next season on Netflix of that. It's one of the few shows that I have watched. With that, guys, we're going to wrap up today's Ryback show. I was going to say today's super chat. I have to got to get done, big workout done, and I got a feeding time coming up. Not a feeding time show, just an afternoon feeding time for the big guy, and a big workout session here today, and some shoulder work and more Feed Me More nutrition. So I thank you and have a happy Memorial Day. all of you. Will be probably try to get on for another morning live tomorrow. Probably not. I don't know if we're going to do one on Sunday, but we'll try to get one more this week tomorrow morning. So check back here for another Ryback show live tomorrow morning. And check out my Feed Me More nutrition supplement line, guys. Feedmemore.com. You can save 20% with discount code RYBACKSHOW20, RYBACKSHOW20 over on feedmemore.com. And let's have a great and safe Friday. Until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.